want 24? Do we want to stay at 12? It looks like we're going to move to 16. I mean, I get the executive order. It's still now this would be different, but I don't know. I don't see an end game for really any of this. You got the executive order that's going to be challenged in court. Attorneys are going to sink their teeth into that. You got agreements that conferences are having to sign. It's just a lot right now, and I thought that maybe we were going to get a little bit of daylight in sight, but it continues to just circle back to nobody can agree on anything.
Well, at some point, you're going to have to do something to make this more, I don't know, objective. I guess maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Does that sound fair, right? I mean, I don't know how you pick 13 people randomly and say these people are going to be in charge and have all this power.
Mike Griffith from the AJC, DogNation.com, joins us here on the program. We've got the NFL draft coming up in a couple of weeks, but I want to ask you about an incredible Georgia Bulldog that just got an extension, and that's Travon Walker from the Jags. Talk to us about him and just that impressive 2021 draft class.
Well, I mean, Trayvon, getting a $110 million deal, and, this is on the heels of Jordan Davis, signing the richest contract ever for a nose tackle. I mean, it's mind-blowing when you think what came off that 2021 team. I'd be curious to put it up against, the 2020 Alabama team in terms of contract numbers when you look at all the talent they had, or maybe even 2019 LSU. I mean, maybe, what was the most valuable or what was the most talented team? I know that from a draft standpoint, when you look at Nick Saban's back-to-back national championship teams, very close to what Georgia's done in terms of the number of guys drafted and where they were picked. And I don't think we're going to see that anymore. Now, as we just talked about at the start of our segment, it's really more about the transfers. It's not about guys that you brought into your program and built. And I don't know, did you guys think that was that a better way? I mean, was it better off the way it was before than it is now with the transfers, where everybody can bid and buy and take from other programs, 2, 3, 4 years into guys' careers? I mean, you tell me, what do you think?
I think the Indianas, the Ole Misses, and name that other program that hasn't really been relevant, that has thrived during this time. I think that they would all say keep it the way that it is. But, yeah, maybe to your point, it was a little bit better with some of these historically better programs and how they were able to recruit and do things the old-fashioned way, wink, wink.
Well, never mind doing things old-fashioned. What about for the student-athlete? And, I mean, again, I'm not saying they're there for the educational part, but that is a part of it, and being a part of a culture for 4 or 5 years, or dealing with the adversity, putting the time in, investing. I mean, okay, you can say that they're definitely better off financially now, but what about the product that the NFL is getting? I know I've talked to some NFL assistants, and they say these guys we're getting now, they're tougher to coach. Guys that were coming out before, look, they had those conversations. It was either get better or there's the bench. Now it's get better or go to another team and make money. It's completely different in that sense.
So let me ask you this. If the federal government does not step in, and we keep waiting for this, I saw the glowing, wonderful graphics from the SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey on Friday after the president signed an executive order. That means absolutely nothing. Every lawyer in America tell you it's not even worth the paper that he signed his name on. What's next? What is going to happen that is going to change this? Because we all agree this is not sustainable. I mean, it's $40 to $45 million this year for a college football roster. You mean to tell me that in 2 years it's going to be $60 and $75 million? I mean, these schools cannot afford this. You and I both know.
Well, I think public sentiment has to shift enough that this is something that the politicians can get behind and get a bipartisan bill on. That's what I think. And I think that's why, Trump's executive order was so important, not because it actually took effect, but because it outlined and detailed some things, where the general public now can consume this and say, hey, look, this is what we want. And they can tell their politicians, this is what we want. And when politicians run for office and want to get elected, they're going to be on the platform that the majority of the people favor. And so I think the first thing is to shift public sentiment. And yes, we all agree that football and basketball players should be paid, no question. But we also probably all agree that there should be some parameters, and that it's not healthy to think that in any college institution, any student or any athlete should be transferring every single year. There should be limitations on that. Theoretically, anybody can do anything they want in our country, but for the sake of order and roster management, look at the NFL, for example. What was it, 2010, when they said, when the players union got together and said, hey, you know what? Let's make sure that these rookies don't make more than the veterans. We're going to fix the pricing where the rookie contracts aren't going to be as valuable as the veteran contracts. Now, that wouldn't stand up in a court of law. That's not constitutional. But you know what? They have antitrust, laws there in the NFL that enables them to manage their system. And that's what I think we need to get to for college athletics. Now, does that mean there needs to be a collegiate athletic union? I think that's something that's probably going to be on the table, or some form of representation. Or can we trust, and my goodness, if we can't trust our academic leaders, who can you trust? Your NCAA presidents, to act in the best interest of the student athlete. So, there's a lot of questions here, philosophically, idealistically, but ultimately, I think it comes back to the people and what the people want and how the politicians serve them. And I think the fact that this has become a focal point, and Trump brought this out with the White House meeting and now the committees and now the executive order, I think people are talking about it. And the more that people talk, the more that I think politicians have to act, because ultimately I think that's what it's going to take.
That is Mike Griffith, joins us every Tuesday here on Three Man Front as we're live at Social Taco. Mike, before we let you go, what's the vacancies look like? I've had a couple people ask me for the Instagram site, and wanted to know if you still got a good discount going.
Yeah, at Gulf Shores Getaway AL, we sure do. We got some vacancy end of this month, a couple weeks in May, and I think there's still the 30% off. 30% off deals for folks that do the direct booking. So if they contact you or go to our Instagram website, give us a follow and send us a message, and we can send a video of the place. They can take a look at it themselves and see if there's some days in there that they might want to stay. And again, a pretty deep discount because it's getting later in the spring, and like I told you before, you want to keep that full. You want to keep people in there and enjoying the Gulf Coast and the weather. So that's where at Gulf Shores Getaway AL sits today.
Awesome. That is good stuff.
Yeah.
It's beautiful weather.
You guys. Like this one. Yeah.
Absolutely. That is Mike Griffith. You can follow his work there at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.com and also DogNation.com. Mike, hope you and your family had a wonderful Easter, and we'll catch up with you next Tuesday.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, guys. I look forward to it.
Thanks, Mike. Mike joined us on the Higginbotham hotline. It was kind of come and go there on the old phone system there. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Well, spring is finally here, and that means the mosquitoes, unfortunately, they're out in full force. Our friends at Stark Exterminators, they want to remind you they use the most environmentally friendly mosquito control available, whether you're trying to fight off the itchy mosquito bites or you need to set up preventative service. You can always trust the expert at Stark Exterminators. Stark Exterminators have been family-owned for over 62 years, and they make it really simple for you. You can schedule your free home or business pest inspection today. Simply call 855-STARK-NOW or go to starkexterminators.com. One of their professional team members will come out to your home or your place of business, go over it like a fine-tooth comb, inside and out. They'll come up with any issues that you currently have, maybe you didn't see, and maybe some issues that could potentially come up down the road. Stark Exterminators, once again, 855-STARK-NOW or go to starkexterminators.com, and always tell them that Landrum from Jocks sent you.
When we come back on Three-Man Front, they've been on the practice field down in Tuscaloosa. We'll give you an update of what practice looked like during the open session, as we'll tell you what's happening with the quarterbacks down in Tuscaloosa. That's next on Three-Man Front. It's 10:25. Welcome back. We're live at Social Taco here in Homewood. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. Come on by and see us. Appreciate Mike Griffith joining us each and every Tuesday here on the program. As I told you, Alabama already on the practice field. Kalen DeBoer loves the morning practices, loves them. Quarterbacks basically throwing the air today against the wide receivers.
Better be 100%.
That's pretty much your report there. Running backs, Daniel Hill and Kevin Riley leading that pack during drills. Offensive lines went through individual technique drills. Tight ends going through blocking drills. No E.J. Crowell. That's a name that I keep asking a lot of people about. They keep telling me that it's nothing serious. Him and Danny Lewis on offense, nowhere to be found. It would seem unlikely at this point that we'll see Crowell on Saturday for A-Day. He has been out there very little. So that is – everyone keeps telling me there's nothing to see there. But it is concerning that he has not been on the practice field. And whatever the issue is, if you're an Alabama running game fan, you need him in the backfield. So hopefully that will get taken care of. Bray Hubbard showed up, Conrad's jersey mate.
Yes.
He participated in practice today. He went through drills. It's unclear if he's limited from contact. However, he began that spring that way with no contact. So Dre Kirkpatrick
Protect him
Jr.
at all costs.
Yes. Dre Kirkpatrick Jr., who that I see on doing lives almost on a daily basis on TikTok. He's a very interesting young man. He was out there practicing with the safeties today. So that's good that he's being able to take that TikTok talent and taking it to the football field.
TikTok talent.
Yep. That's what we call it. And I try to share it every time I see him live. I try to share that with you, Conrad, because I know you're not on TikTok like me and Molly and Landrum. But yeah.
He's not on? Really?
Conrad is not on TikTok.
I'm not. I'm a protester of TikTok.
Well, I protested for a while.
He's
board.
on Tinder. He's on what else are you on? Conrad, you were telling me in the office.
What's the one? The B one?
Oh, Bumble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he's on Hinge. That's another
What's
one.
Hinge?
Well, that's
There's so many dating apps.
that's when I'm feeling frou-frou, Molly.
Hinge is the one where, like,
You have to
you're
make
given
money.
prompts.
You have
You
to-
make money.
I think Hinge is like you have to be like more. No, not like that.
That makes you a prostitute.
Not
Yes.
like that. It's the one where you have to. It's for like business class people. Isn't that what Hinge is?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, never
I think
mind.
you're talking about Raya.
Okay, there's too many of them.
What?
Okay.
So
What about
many,
Fringe?
There's so many dating apps. It's unreal.
Oh. I got that taken care of. You too, Pat.
Hopefully I'll never need that.
No.
Yeah,
That
hopefully
sounds-
I won't either, unless
that
my
sounds
wife's
horrible.
listening right now.
That sounds horrible. I just got a coin. Oh, what is my login? Oh, there goes my soulmate. Anyways, Dre Kirkpatrick doing things on the practice field. Transfer portal is open. Any more news coming out of Tuscaloosa? Nothing? All right. As we roll on here on Three Man Front, we continue. We're live at Social Taco. It is a Taco Mix and Match Tuesday. Join us. The doors open officially at 11 o'clock. We broadcast until 2. It's Three Man Front live here on Jocks. Welcome back in. It's Three-Man Front live from Social Taco here in Homewood, keeping our eyes open. The college basketball transfer portal, Aiden Sherrill of Alabama, unexpectedly announced his intentions to enter the transfer portal, and sure enough, Aiden Sherrill's name is there as of this morning. Any news pertaining to Alabama, Auburn, UAB, schools here in the state or notable and names of interest through the SEC. We'll certainly pass those along. It's time for our daily Braves update presented by our friends at Braves Vision. On this day, way back in 1987, pitcher Rick Mailer set a record for throwing his third shutout on opening day, beating the Phillies 6-0. Pitched 11 years for the Atlanta Braves from 79, 88, and then in 1991. Braves Vision, if you haven't checked it out, you have to. It's your new TV home of the Atlanta Braves. It's owned and operated directly by the Braves. Braves Vision is going to air more than 140 Braves games throughout the six-state TV territory. Fans can watch games live or on demand with multiple game re-airs. They'll also get pre- and post-game shows with the same faces that they know and love. Braves Vision here in Birmingham, available on DirecTV, channel 645, Xfinity, channel 1254, UVerse channel 1730, and Spectrum, depending on where you are in Birmingham, could be on channel 330, 413, or 1413, and also on Fubo. Braves TV subscriptions, if you've cut the cable like our family, you can just go to braves.tv. Get your subscription there, $19.99 a month, and Larry, that breaks down to 70 cents a game. What costs 70 cents these days? I'll tell you, watching the Braves, taking them on your phone all season long. Braves TV. Catch it now. I really enjoy the broadcast.
See, no, I knew it was a matter of time. I have a lot of people around the country that will talk about Nick Saban on television, talking about, man, his X's and O's is just, it's incredible, you know, what he's been able to bring to game day. But then they also point out his potty mouth, the fact that he's on national television and he likes to use profanity. And they do not, obviously, censor that. And it's cable, you know. I mean, it doesn't offend me, but there are a lot of people out there that it's offensive. So Matt Stahl's got an interesting article at AL.com, and he points out all the FCC complaints against ESPN and Nick Saban for all the profanity that he has used on College game day. They pointed out one incident where it was Kent State getting ready to play Florida State, and Coach Saban said, being an alumnus of Kent State, I think Florida State kicks the blank out of us. And then Matthew Tkachuk, who was one of the guest pickers, he also, on his pick, says they would kick the blank out of Florida State later on in the season, talking about the Miami Hurricanes. So, 4 days later at Kingsport, Tennessee, a concerned viewer filed an official obscenity complaint with the Federal Communications Commission. The letter writer noted that only swearing on the show, or he pointed out other swearing that went on during the show. Said Mr. Saban and the guest picker both used a profane word to describe human feces in the context of a violent act. This is the second time in the past 2 weeks that I have heard the use of profanity on the morning show, profanity that is not blocked by the rating filters that are designed to lock out shows with such language. Thus, in the past 2 weeks, countless parents have had the opportunity to explain to their children who are watching this normally fun show that is presented as suitable for children with a blank is. Talking about a female dog.
Oh.
And what it means to be the son of one, and also explain what it means to kick the human feces out of someone, why such a notion would receive hearty support. Please either enforce or let me know how I can escalate this concern. Thank you. That was from a concerned viewer in Kingsport, Tennessee. During the 2024 season, 3 viewers filed FCC complaints that mentioned Saban through the body's online portal. Saban's total fell to 2 complaints during the 2025 season, so that's good. So he got 3 in the first year, 2 in 2025. The second complaint mentioning Saban arrived on November 22nd and was pointed more at the entire game day desk of panelists, which includes host Reese Davis, along with Pat McAfee, Desmond Howard, and Kirk Herbstreit. This was the report. Stop the profanity on college football game day. The college football game day is supposed to be a family-appropriate show, and I don't want my kids hearing that profanity. I don't care how much money Pat donates with his kicking contest. That does not excuse his profanity. Coach Saban is supposed to be the standard bearer, and I really hate that he is tarnishing his image with the way he talks. And also Reese Davis. I can't believe Reese is joining in. I believe you need to censor the speech or tell them to stop. They are grown adults and are setting a bad example for kids everywhere. This is not a hard ask.
Well, we do the split cast with everything else. Why don't we come up with the more suitable kids PG version where those things are edited out? And then we'll have the regular version for everybody else. I did not know that the S word, the human feces word, had been used on the broadcast. I never caught that. Now, I knew.
Oh, he said that many times.
Oh, yeah, that's his number one word. Like, he says it all the time.
Really?
Yes.
That's not good.
Yes.
I mean, I can understand it as a parent. I'm not a parent, but if I did have kids or if my nieces or nephews that were, young and impressionable, I don't want to have to explain what that word is on a Saturday morning. But, I mean, think about the people you have up there on that stage.
This was another complaint on September 11th. I have been a viewer of this show for approximately 35 years. My children have grown up watching this show. Millions of young viewers watch this Saturday morning show every week of the college football season. I've noticed recently, particularly during the last 2 years, the addition of profanity as a common occurrence on the show. This is perplexing, given the time and day, the audience, and FCC regulations.
Do you think this prompts a meeting with the folks at ESPN and McAfee?
No.
Saban, come on, guys.
Now, you also got to keep in
Try to warn
mind,
you.
what I understand is, Pat McAfee is not, he has to abide by the FCC rules because he's on their airwaves, but he's not an ESPN employee.
Right.
People forget that. Like,
I just forgot it.
They pay him to run his show.
Yeah.
He is not an ESPN employee.
He's his own
He
dude.
does not work for Disney, unlike everyone else on there that are Disney employees. Speaking of Disney, this was another complaint. Broadcasters like the Walt Disney Company, ESPN's parent company, and their highly compensated and influential employees have a responsibility to comport. That's right, to comport. Not sure what that means. To comport not just what the law, but also with the interests of public health and safety. We call on you to take appropriate action. That's what we called to the FCC. ESPN did not respond to a request from Matt Stahl of AL.com before publication.
Well, Saban got better this year. Let's just focus on the positives.
That's right. He went from 3 in year 1 to 2.
Yeah.
This is kind of mirroring how he started his career at Alabama. So by the end of it, by 18 of him being on that set for College Game Day, Molly, heck, Nick Saban might be a evangelical preacher.
He very well might be. He'll be the GOAT of game day.
He'll be taking all the Hughes gigs. Larry liked that one. Clean it up, guys.
Well, there's a lot of people nationally. They don't feel like that it's necessary, and it's taking away from what Nick Saban brings to the table as an analyst. Now, that's left up to everyone's own discretion whether you think that takes away or not. But I have taken a lot of text messages on Saturday like, why is Coach? Coach is more classy than that. Why is he doing that? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't control what Nick Saban says or doesn't say.
You don't?
Neither does Miss Terry. So, but there's a lot of people nationally, they find that, like, appalling. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Well, like Landrum said, kids are watching. You don't want to have to explain that on a Saturday morning if you have children.
Yeah, well, and I don't. I guess you just got to know that going into it. And I had never even noticed, but that the S words had been said. But if they're said a lot by one individual, then I don't know. I'm usually pretty busy on Saturday mornings. I work on Saturdays like Pat does, so I didn't catch it. I don't catch it in its entirety. But yeah, if I was a parent, probably wouldn't want my kids hearing that.
I think based on text messages I'm getting after reading that story, it appears that everyone is basically telling those folks that write letters to the FCC to get a life.
That too. Then there's that side of it as well.
Don't forget about Lee Corso dropping the F-bomb in Houston that time. So.
Oh, yeah. That's the one I remember from my childhood.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I guess they don't have a delay. I mean, I worked at ESPN. I mean, Lord knows we had a delay with the Feinbaum show on the SEC network.
Ooh. Yeah.
I guess they don't. I guess they spent all the money on the Feinbaum show. They didn't have enough for College Game Day for a dump.
205-834-9450. The text line is open. We'll get to some of your text, your thoughts on the FCC, ESPN, College Game Day, and one Nick Saban. We'll get to them. We'll read them. We're live from Social Taco. The door's going to open 15 minutes from right now. We're in the square on a beautiful day here in Homewood. The patio's nice. If you want to enjoy the patio weather today, maybe a cerveza, an ice-cold margarita, or you want to go with something else, you can do it here at Social Taco. SocialTaco.bar for more information. More three-man front as we roll on this Tuesday.
It is 10:47. Welcome back. We're live at Social Taco. Coming up at the top of the hour, John Cook, the general manager of the Birmingham Barons. It is opening night tonight down at Regions Field. Chattanooga Lookouts. Should be a beautiful night for baseball. A little chill in the air, but that's opening night at Regions Field. So we'll talk to John Cook about that coming up in just a couple minutes. Text line is open, 205-834-9450, 1-800-239-WJOX.
Yeah, the first one comes in from Richard. Back to the FCC, ESPN, Nick Saban, Pat McAfee, and the foul language. This one reads, Coach Saban could make all of his points without the profanity, and the fact that Saban has the Saban Center focus on kids is surprising and disappointing. Thank you, Richard. The other side of that is, well, unless you keep your kids in a plastic bubble 24/7, I'm sure they've heard it before. Just saying. This one coming in from the state of Virginia. I appreciate you listening on the Jocks app. It says, Saban and McAfee are potty mouths. It's not professional behavior in a broadcast setting. It should be hit hard. I'm not a saint with my language, but I was always aware of setting. Away from Coach Nick Saban in that conversation, going back to the transfer portal, and should there be limits on how many times someone could transfer, going back to the executive order that was signed. This one reads, coaches can leave every year for a new job and sign for crazy money. They don't care about what they leave behind at their last job, so why should players care and be held to a higher standard? Back to the College Football Playoff Committee. Conflicts of interest, potentially. If anyone needs to be worried about Gus being added to the committee, it should be Auburn. He was winning games, and they still fired him just because he couldn't the GOAT. Couldn't be the GOAT? Or not beat the GOAT. He did beat the GOAT.
He did that better than anybody else.
Yeah. Maybe it was be the GOAT. I don't know. I had to fill in a word. I'm guessing here. Someone asking what Jizzle James's transfer status is right now. I've not checked on Jizzle. Thank you for all the entertaining texts. Some I could not read. Just no way to clean them up. But thanks for your interaction on the show. And Drake says, congratulations to former Florida Gators assistant and now head coach at Michigan, Dusty May, for winning the championship. Congratulations, Coach May, and all of you Michigan fans like Ian Westbrook, who I'm sure is celebrating this morning and all through the night. So text in 205-834-9450. The phone lines are open, 800-239-WJOX.
Well, spring weather in Alabama is often unpredictable, but you can always rely on a Train home comfort system. And during their Spring Unstoppable event, you can receive up to $1,350 rebate on select home comfort systems. So go and learn more and find a comfort specialist near you at Train.com.
So Yaxel Lindenborg, he gets a nice championship ring as the Michigan Wolverines get the national championship last night. It's pretty interesting reading some of his quotes last night after the game. He says, they might still be calling us mercenaries, but we're the hardest playing team in national basketball. That's from Yaxel Lindenborg. All 5 starters started their careers somewhere else. Also, he went to Twitter last night, and I really wish players would just stop tweeting crap like this. I don't like it when I hear Kirby Smart talk about them, how nobody appreciates them and all that kind of mess. Yaxel Lindenborg tweeted out, shout out to the keyboard warriors. We champs, baby. Us against the world. Was the world against Michigan? Did everyone like predict Michigan was going to be awful this year and Michigan wasn't going to potentially be a Big Ten?
You were
power?
number 1 seed. You were 7.5-point favorite last night.
Like what? Us against the what?
I don't know.
Like seriously?
I'm not sure where Yax was going with that.
Just shut up. Just win. You just won the championship. Just move along. You were the number 1 seed. You got your championship.
You're all going to be playing in the NBA. Every one of you is going to be playing in the NBA. Might have felt like you were playing in the NBA this year. at $3.5 million.
Well, one thing's for sure. I'm sure at the Big Ten media days for football, they will absolutely bring up the fact that the Big Ten is the first conference ever to see 3 different schools win the football and men's and women's basketball national championship in a single year. Matter of fact, conferences that swept football and men's and women's basketball.
All right.
I don't know. Conferences that swept football and men's and women's basketball national championships in the same year. It happened in the SEC back in 2006, 2007. Florida, and Tennessee. So Florida won the football national championship. Then they won the men's championship and the women's national championship. And then, of course, in 2025-26, Indiana, Michigan, and UCLA did that. So the SEC and the Big Ten tied on that front.
Who's the most likely to win the next championship, national championship from the SEC? Is it going to be baseball?
Baseball, yeah.
Or softball?
Hey, Alabama's number 1 in softball, baby.
Like
And
the
number 8
SEC's
in
usually
baseball,
got
too.
Bring it home, Coach Murphy. Yeah, and number 8 in baseball.
in
You're right.
baseball.
Well, I was just saying from the SEC, but yeah, Alabama.
Well, they play in the SEC, and they're number
They
1.
do. They do. Yeah, that would be nice for a team from this state, including Alabama, to win their first College World Series title. And Alabama right now, I was looking at the latest power rankings in the SEC, whatever they're worth. They're, number 3? I think in baseball.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Ms. Vaughn's done a good job. You know, Auburn's getting all the buzz early in the season, and then Alabama, once the start of SEC play, you start out with a no-hitter, and they've been buzzing through opponents since.
Yeah, they had the one loss at Oklahoma, but they took 2 out of 3 from the Sooners.
But
Auburn's back on track, too, though. They beat Arkansas over the weekend. That's very nice.
yeah, they got 2 out of 3. But you look at the SEC and look at some of the teams that are there at the bottom. I mean, you're going to have somebody that makes up the bottom, but just look how they're represented in past champions and perennial contenders. It's NIL. It is the nature of the beast. No one is immune to it. We're not immune to you. Come and join us. We're live at Social Taco in Homewood. Doors opening right now. We got folks that are funneling up the stairs. Hello, Matthew and others. We got the mix and match tacos, but also the Mexican pizzas, quesadillas. A quesarita. I think I just created an app and a drink. Sounds soggy, but I guess if you've had enough margaritas, it's fine. SocialTaco.bar for more information. Transfer portal in college basketball is open. We'll give you the latest of what's happening in Tuscaloosa, the plains of Auburn, and elsewhere. 3-man front live from Social Taco on this beautiful spring Tuesday, the state of Alabama and the Southeast, right here on Jocks.